This video contains or may contain spoilers for Hollow Knight. One idea that I've seen discussed a couple of times in the Hollow Knight fanbase is the idea that the establishment of Hallownest is a sequence of events similar to instances of colonialism in real life. It's an interesting idea, and it does have some merit to it, so I wanted to discuss it in a video. I should probably say as a disclaimer first that I don't belong to any group of indigenous people. I'm American and all of my known ancestry is European. Still, there are well-known facts about the history of colonialism, and this video will be from that factual perspective. Before the establishment of Hallownest, several separate tribes of bugs occupied their own territory and developed their own societies. It was only when the Pale King arrived that they were all united under the kingdom of Hallownest. Some of the tribes, however, kept to themselves as they always had, and some never accepted the king at all. Sound familiar? In this way, how Hallownest came to be is very similar to countries such as the United States and Canada. However, there are some major differences between Hallownest and real-life colonial history. For one thing, when the Pale King arrived, he didn't commit genocide against any species of bug native to the land. One example people have cited in the comparison to colonialism is how the Moth tribe turned away from the Radiants and instead to the Pale King, but that isn't really accurate. The Moths voluntarily chose to follow the Pale King, while in real life many colonized peoples were forced to convert to the belief system of their colonizers, even punished for practicing their own beliefs. The Radiance really seems more like the perpetrator here, since she infected bugs who didn't worship her. There is some evidence that consuming lifeblood, which is possibly connected to another higher being, as being taboo and those who did so as being heretics, but nothing about these individuals being punished for their actions. Additionally, not every tribe deified and worshipped the Pale King, as the Greenkin, for example, still followed and worshipped Un. Speaking of the Greenkin, there is another example pertaining to Hallownest that does mirror real life, that being the White Lady's acquisition of what would become the Queen's Gardens. The lore tablet next to the garden's entrance from Greenpath says that the area now occupied by the gardens once belonged to the Greenkin, but a pale being, that being the White Lady, has taken them to be used for her own purposes. The landscape of the gardens demonstrates this, as it has been built up according to the Queen's wishes rather than the Greenkin's. This is definitely similar to real life in that the Greenkin feel a special connection to the very lands that they live on, as they believe that the lands and their people were both created by Un. However, another entity has come along and taken some of those lands away from them. Another point that has been brought up is the idea that the citizens of Hallownest were somehow savage or uncivilized before the Pale King came along and changed that. It's even hinted at in the elegy for Hallownest at the very start of the game. At first glance, this is comparable to one of the more sinister parts of colonial history. However, I still wouldn't say that it's an exact mirror of real life. For one thing, the Pale King did quite literally expand the intelligence of creatures around him, rather than simply believing that his vision of society was better and enforcing it. As I mentioned before, many groups of bugs were largely left to themselves as long as they did not interfere with the kingdom's affairs, which they had no reason or desire to do anyway. So the story of Hallownest coming to be does have some things in common with colonial history and real life, but some differences as well. It's still an interesting thing to think about, though. What do you think of this concept and my ideas about it? Let me know in the comments. Thank you for watching this video. Please be sure to give it a like, share it, check out my other Hollow Knight videos, and subscribe to my channel for more. I hope you have a great day, and I'll see you next time.